We live in England, and so because we live in England, royalty is not just some abstract notion, some whimsical fairy tale concept. We see it, we live it, we understand it. We understand the history of royalty, the bloodlines with royalty. We understand the favour and the privilege that comes with being royalty. Which little girl hasn't dreamed herself the princess who, after being swept away by Prince Charming, there's a wedding and then there's a happily ever after? We understand royalty. So when God says of his people, not just people in general, but his people, the people who have chosen to believe in Jesus and follow him, when he says in 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9, but you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. It is not outside of our grasp to be able to get a hold of how God sees us and how God intends for us to live. And so this week, when racism rears its ugly head and takes center stage in the world's theatre, as a woman of mixed race with a black ethnic background and a mother to mixed race children, having been born and raised in the oppressive apartheid regime in South Africa, these weeks have opened old wounds that I thought had healed. They've raised anxieties about my beautiful, brown-skinned, curly-haired children and how they will grow and thrive and be received in this world. But this one thing sustains me, that I am not who I say I am. I am not who the world says I am. I am not what my experiences have made me. I am who God says I am. And God says that I am chosen, that I am loved with an everlasting love, that I am his special possession, that to him I am royalty. And so I can choose to, in this world, live and love and forgive just the way my Father intended and not the way that the world would dictate. And so today, for me, it is racism which is chewing away at my sense of self-worth, chewing away at my sense of security. And that might not be the case for you. Maybe for you, it's the way you look. Maybe you don't have an image that the world aspires to. Maybe it's your background. Maybe you were born on the wrong side of the tracks. Maybe it's your lived experience. Maybe you weren't cared for, even abused by people who should have loved you. But there is, I promise you, somebody who knows your worth. Somebody who knows that you are special. Somebody who loves you and wants to take you out of the darkness and into his wonderful light, if you would just turn to him. And so, as I pray, would you pray with me? Would you pray out loud? Would you declare it? You'll know the words. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Amen.